Sam from RoadTrailRun here. We're going to take a look at the Puma Velocity Nitro 2 here in sunny Park City, cold Park City. This is Puma's daily trainer, just barely over 9 ounces. It's at a great price of $120 and releases in February. Velocity Nitro 2, the second edition of Puma's nitrogen-infused midsole foam. They've changed things up a bit here. In the sense that in version 1, we had a plug of EVA below the blue nitro, and I'm going to show you a picture of what that looked like. Whereas now we have a lower layer of EVA with the nitro above. So expect we're going to have a little bit softer heel than version 1. So yesterday I actually took them out on the snow here in Park City, and we've got PumaGrip, and I love PumaGrip. I actually did a little test run before, and I chose the PumaGrip over MegaGrip 4mm lugs on this super hard packed snow, and it was a great run. So PumaGrip, a superb outsole. We don't often talk about outsoles first, but here it really adds the mix. You can also see that it has a more continuous expanse of rubber on the medial side up front than version 1 did. I'm going to take them out in the road today here and tell you how that all feels along with the fit and the ride. A few more details in terms of the upper. It's a very soft engineered mesh. Yesterday it held really well in the snow. It was smooth. One thing I really noticed right away is our tongue. Last year it had a thin tongue. This looks thin, but what you'll find here is that this material is padded with kind of a dense, rubbery kind of inner layer. Really cushions well. There's a bit of a gusset tongue. Heel hold is excellent. I'm at half size up from my normal true to size. So they are a bit long. I think they'll fit a bit truer to size than last year's version. You also note we don't have the big thick EVA plug, and neither do we have the clip that we had in last year's version. We have a reflective highlight at the rear, and we also have one up front. And of course we've got the big cat right there. Now in terms of some of the specs here of our Velocity Nitro, number 2, same 33.5 heel, 23.5 forefoot, 10mm drop. Weight, we drop in weight to 257 grams, 9.07 ounces in a US 9 from 9.13 ounces or 258 grams in last year's version. So that's really cool. So what's this shoe for? Well, this is really a classic daily trainer with a supercritical nitrogen-infused foam midsole. The weight down near 9 ounces, exactly where I like to see a daily trainer. The stack, big 33 at the heel. The 23.5 at the forefoot is a little bit thinner, if you will, because of the high 10mm drop, but we're going to see how that actually feels on the run. They were super fast on the snow. Now let's take them out on the pavement. Okay, third run in the neighborhood. What a snappy, lively forefoot we have here. Okay, back from my third run in our sweet Puma Velocity Nitro 2. The first run was 9:17 pace, on snow, very hilly. All the runs are at above 2,200 feet, 2,200 meters, or 6,800 feet, so we're at altitude. The second run was to recover from the first, 1040 per mile pace, and the third today just under 940 pace. So let's talk just a bit more about the fit. I do think I'm a half size up, as I told you earlier. I do think this area could be reinforced a little more, a little stiffer, to improve the lockdown there. The tongue works really well over to hold you, but I think we could use just a bit more stiffness right in here. But otherwise, the upper is really comfortable. There's plenty of room here, even for, I would say, moderately wide feet, because our mesh is so soft and pliable. Okay, let's talk about the ride. So we have our layer of nitro foam, nitrogen infused foam. Before, in the first version, we just had EVA at the heel and a plastic clip. So we do have a softer landing, but it's not a mushy soft landing, or the sort of very soft and bouncy landing of the Puma's Speed Elite Nitro. So this lower layer of EVA really holds things together. And I also must say that all the runs were at about 17 degrees F, or about -8C, and that can affect firmness of rubber and EVA. So as we go to the front, though, what we have here, we have our layer of nitro, then we have our layer of EVA, and then we have a really full coverage of rubber. And I can tell you, on the snow, the grip is just incredible, better than some PumaGrip. This creates a very stable platform for toe off, and a very snappy one. We are getting some flex. Let me show you the flex if I can. You can see, not super flexible, because we've got that big surface of rubber. And what that gives you is a very dynamic kind of toe off. There's very decent cushion, soft or bouncy cushion from our nitro. Then we have a little bit of the EVA that's firmer than the rubber. So you've got a softer landing and sort of a firmer takeoff. It reminds me a bit of the Saucony Ride 13 and 14, except the Saucony has big bars of rubber. So it is a 10mm drop shoe, about 33.5 at the heel, 23.5 at the forefoot, and it weighs 9.07 ounces, or about 257 grams. So it's relatively light for its stack. The 10mm drop really gets you forward. So this is really classic daily trainer kind of shoe, in the sense that you got the big drop, you've got the snappy toe off, so it's very versatile. I wouldn't call it a super cushion long run shoe. You might want to try Puma's Nitro Magnify for that. But it gets pretty close to what the Deviate Nitro does with its plate, given that rubber. So very lively kind of snappy toe off, relatively thin feeling forefoot. Reminds me a bit maybe of the Vomero 14, but without an airbag, and kind of softer cushion, but that kind of snap up front. For some bizarre reason, it reminded me also of kind of a much improved Pegasus. If you're a Pegasus fan and find the React overly firm at the heel, you'll like this Nitro. And it's that airbag or AirPod kind of gets in your way, or you feel it's kind of pushing up on the foot, as I did. You'll get a similar kind of thinner impulse off the front here that's a bit more pleasant. So we're going to have a full multi-tester written review of the Puma Velocity Nitro 2 real soon, but it's an excellent daily trainer. It's only $120, so it's a real bargain. A comfortable, faster kind of shoe for most all kinds of running mileage you might do during a week. Well done, Puma.